What's the matter, baby? Hey, Dragos. I like that name. That's a cool name. Hey, baby. You want to walk across the keyboard? You seem to love walking across the keyboard. Come here. Yeah. I love you so much. Hey, Jerry. No, you're second, Jerry. Dragos beat you. You're such a good boy. Covers me in fur every time I do that, but it's worth it. There's the YouTube link.
Have you heard about the salt trick that's making men stay hard for hours in bed? It might sound bizarre,
Really?
but your wife or girlfriend will thank you for watching this video. Go to your kitchen, grab a pinch of salt. Watching this video.
Nice ad, YouTube. Yeah, we want to know how to be hard. The cleanup went surprisingly well. The neighbors came through much more than I expected. We had like 15 people here on Saturday, and yeah, I was completely mistaken. I thought I had about a year's worth of work ahead of me. Yeah, that's a pipe dream. If I had to do that by myself, 18 months. We got rid of so much stuff. It's incredibly embarrassing and amazing. Well, it's hard when those bastards have the ability to take your home from you, and they express an interest in doing so. That's difficult to not let that grind you. The amount of stuff we got rid of is just mind blowing. I got some pictures I'll show you. Let's see. It's truly incredible. Everybody was here for about 4 hours, and the amount of stuff we got done in 4 hours is just mind blowing. It's just absolutely incredible. This is just a couple of pictures. He's the guy who organized it. We got everybody working together. His name's Tyler. And here's one before picture. Actually, there's a better way to do that. Why am I trying to do it this way when I can just transfer these pictures to something a little bit more on the computer? When Michelle and I got sick, the trash got a little out of hand, especially since the electric car can't make it to the transfer station anymore. The Kia doesn't have a hitch, and I can't afford the cost of taking the trash piecemeal to the transfer station using the Kia. But this way, the electric car and trailer can hold a lot of trash. And that's $1 in electricity and $5 for a dump fee to dump it. And as long as I don't overfill the trailer, they just charge me the $5 to dump it. And with the Kia, I would have to make 4 trips to get rid of the same amount of garbage. That would be a $5 dump fee per trip, plus $20 in gas. That's $40. So my cost would go from $6 to $40. I don't have it. And so I was hoping to wait until spring and hope the electric car could still do the trip in the spring, but then I lost the key, which I found last week. I was ecstatic when I found that freaking key. And so the city started threatening me. And even the people who came over to help, I had to beg them not to say nothing to the city because this guy's real pissed off at me for some reason, and I don't know why. I don't even know his name. But for some reason, he's really angry with me. At least he came off as so incredibly hostile that it was borderline violent. I'm Groot. And, well, I don't care if people express religious concepts like that. That doesn't bother me. But, then I found out that lady that we helped a couple years ago clean up her property, they ended up taking her home from her anyway. So they aren't just taking vacant homes, they're taking people out of their homes. So that scared the shit out of me. And so people said they'd come over and help, which really surprised me. I wasn't expecting that. And when they started coming over, they were like, where's this incredible mess? I mean, yes, it was a mess. And when I tell you how much we got rid of, it's going to blow your mind. But they were expecting, this gigantic, incredible mess worthy of threatening to take somebody's house. And what they found was 3 piles of garbage, essentially, around the carport. My property's clean, everything's clean, the yard's clean, I keep a neat property. It's just I had piles of garbage, and the animals tore apart the bags, so they became piles of trash. And they were expecting this huge mess, and they don't understand why the city is so up in arms about such a minor issue. Like, it's truly minor. Put it this way, we finished it in 4 hours. It's more work than I can handle by myself, but with 15 people, we blasted through it in 4 hours. And I don't know. I have no idea. I just have to hope it's enough to appease them and that they won't try to pursue anything more. I don't know. I'm downloading so I can show you guys. I'm downloading the pictures right now. Come on. What the hell? Control Y. Yes. folder. Take all this, dump it in here. There we go. There we go. Be nice. Hey, told you to be nice. There we go. So, that's the guy who helped organize it. A lot of the people had already left by the time they took the picture, but there's about 15 people there. This whole area here was just covered in garbage. It's all gone now. There's just a little bit of stuff left that I have to organize. But this is like one before and after. There's another before and after. The only trash I got left to get rid of is this fridge. And then this dump trailer right here, we filled 4 of these. And then there was also a horse trailer that held about 50 bags of garbage. We filled that twice. And so it's all gone now. It's all cleaned up. Hopefully that's enough to appease them. And hopefully it's not a personal vendetta or some kind of weird, I don't know what. Hopefully it's just he's a psychopath and he was being overzealous. Who knows? Because everybody who came over was confused as to why it was such a big deal. I mean, yeah, it was a mess, but it wasn't that big a mess. Who knows? Who knows with people sometimes? Sometimes people are just weird. All I want to do is be invisible. I just want to disappear. I just want to get off their radar and make the front of my house as boring and as bland as I can possibly make it. So they drive by and don't even wonder who's there anymore. So, it's an earth-shattering experience to your psychology to realize that, this is not like some kind of murderer or mugger or thief or something. Although that's a problem too. Son of a bitch who's coming onto my property stealing from me. Really, cat? Like, seriously? You're just gonna push buttons on my keyboard as you run across? To realize that someone could legally and methodically dismantle another person's life just because they feel like it is it's a terrifying concept. It's one that I'd never fully considered before. I was ignorant of it. I now know what they mean by ignorance is bliss. And this guy's definitely got screws loose. There's something wrong in his head for him to behave that way. It was uncalled for. There's no reason for it. I was being compliant. I was working with them. I was busting my ass, doing as much as I could. And he just, I don't know. I'll probably never know why, because I can't ask him. If it's just him being overzealous, he'll just tell me that. But if he actually has an axe to grind and I ask him, he'll retaliate. So I can't even ask. I had to beg my neighbors not to get involved because, some of them, they wanted to know, what was going on, why it was this bad. And I was like, you can't get involved. You can't ask. You can't complain. You can't say anything. Because if the guy is off his rocker, he'll retaliate, and I'm going to be the one who will experience those consequences. And, that's terrifying. And worse, it's an unelected position. He has the power to take people's homes from them And he's not even an elected position. No unelected position should have that kind of power. He's the head of the zoning, I guess. And apparently the rest of the people in the zoning are willing to do whatever he says because they all sat there and did nothing as this guy ripped into me for no reason whatsoever. No reason whatsoever. Just he woke up with his panties in a twist that day. I don't know. But when someone that unstable has that kind of power, that's not good. So, what are you gonna do? So something I wanted to work on today was to oh, and the guy who's coming onto my property stealing from me, he stole my fucking air compressor right out of my car. They shouldn't be. They absolutely shouldn't be allowed to, but apparently here they can. They've already taken 40 people's homes. This stuff is pure poison, but I love it so much. It's the most wonderful poison ever made. So I was really impressed with how many of my fellow neighbors came out. And I even had to be careful with some of them. You realize how testy and upset some people can get. Like when you're in the kind of financial trouble I'm in, the idea of throwing away what could be good food is difficult. And the one guy got upset because I hesitated to throw away $500 worth of canned food. And what's the matter, baby? Huh? What's the matter? I think he wants to play. I don't know. I mean, there. I have no idea. I don't. It's what's so weird is the turnaround. The first meeting I went to, I was a bit scared because you don't know what kind of people these people are, and I was surprised. The first meeting they were very cordial, very understanding. And they said they wanted to work with me, and they just as long as they saw progress, that was good. And um, so I left that first meeting thinking, okay, as long as I can make enough progress, they should be happy, right? Well, my neighbor across the street helped me out, and we ended up getting rid of the one weekend, we got rid of 4 pickup truckloads of stuff, and overall for the 2 months, I got rid of 6 pickup loads worth of stuff plus the garbage I'm getting rid of with the neighbor. So when they called me in for the second meeting, I figured, okay, they're going to say, okay, you're doing fine. We'll come back in another 60 days. And instead, that second meeting turned incredibly hostile, really, really hostile. And it took me off guard. It's like, what the hell happened? What did I do? Did I fuck this guy's daughter or something? I mean, that's the level it seemed to rise to. Like, what the hell did I do to this guy? And I don't even know his name. I've never seen him before. But he was pissed at me for some reason, like I'd done something to him. And is it one of those, okay, I'm the new sheriff in town, so I want to be tough on crime kind of thing? And he's trying to be a hotshot? Or is it a personal axe to grind? I don't know which it is, and I can't ask. I just have to hope it's not a personal axe to grind, otherwise nothing's going to fix it. He'll just find a new angle. And of course, because I don't know what the problem is, I don't know how to fix it. If it's just him being a sociopath and he's trying to be a hotshot, well then fixing it will take care of the problem and he'll go away. And I just have to hope it's that. It's very uncomfortable, one person having that kind of control over your life. It's very, very uncomfortable. And that should not be the way it is. But there's nothing I can do about it. Except if that fucker comes on my property again, I'm gonna chop him up, put him in the freezer, and he's gonna be cat food for the next year. My $300 Ryobi air compressor that I actually need, that I use often, gone. He went in, I had to leave the car unlocked because we hadn't found the key yet. And so when AAA unlocked it for me, I had to leave it unlocked. And I had the air compressor out, filling up the tires. And I realized, okay, yeah, that guy's probably going to steal this if I leave it out. So I put it in the car. He went in the car and took the air compressor. $300 air compressor, just gone, just like that. I've been monitoring Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. He's obviously smart enough not to put it there. What a piece of garbage. What an absolute piece of garbage. Let's see, let's bring that back. I just hope it's not personal of some sort, you know, like he's not targeting me to make an example of me. You know, hopefully he's like a feral cat and he'll move on to another target once, you know, they realize the problem is cleaned up. You know, some good news. I did find the key to the car. And once I have another air pump of some sort, I'll get air in the tire and I'll be able to drive it. I'm going to test drive it without a trailer, but first I have to I got to get my battery to work with it. See, the problem is when I hit any kind of a hill, the BMS kills the battery pack to prevent any damage from occurring when it undervolts. And it's gotten bad enough that it doesn't take much of a hill to do it. The so when it undervolts and it terminates the battery pack, the only way to fix it is to get towed home and plug it back into the charger. When I plug it back into the charger, it resets. So what I'm hoping I could do is I have a 1.5 kilowatt hour battery, those big giant solar batteries, and like this, but gigantic. It's like 4 times larger than this. These can only typically put up 300 watts. Sometimes the nice ones will put 600 or 700 watts. This one will put out 1200 watts, which means that's enough wattage to power the car's trickle charger. And remember, the whole point here is not to charge the car. It's to charge it just for a couple of minutes to reset the battery so I can go again and not have to call AAA. And if I can make that work, then if I get stuck on the side of the road, I can just plug the car in for 5 minutes, reset the battery, and try again. And if it works, I might be able to tow the trailer to the transfer station again. And see what happens. But hey, red light. The I lost my air compressor because he stole it. And that had a 9 amp hour battery on it and a nice Sub-Zero Zilla hose on it. You know, it was a really nice setup. Son of a bitch. And of course, he always wears a goddamn hoodie, so I see him on video, but I never see his face. He hides his face. So there's no way to prove who he is. And he has to be a neighbor. He has to be somebody who lives on my street because he waits until I leave. Son of a bitch. I hate people like that. Um, well, I want to design I have a lot of solar lights, and I like putting the solar lights on my fence posts, the wooden fence that I have around the front of the house there. And right now what I've been doing is drilling a hole in the fence post and jamming the light in there. But it's only so-so as far as stability. So I figure I might as well, do it right. So I'm going to design a proper mount to mount the lights to the posts. And so I'm going to 3D print something. So let's switch over to screen view. I have you on here. Okay, so first thing I want to do, it's 3 by 4 inches, so I'm going to make it 3 by 3 inches, which is 75 millimeters. So 75 by 75. Let's make it the base 1 inch thick, which is about 25. And let's add a radius to it. That looks nice. So the next thing I'm going to do is chop off the bottom. Excuse me. Do as you're told. Don't argue with me, or you're going to get bitten. So we do this. And chop it. Lower you down to 0. And you won't let me click on that, will you? Because you're an asshole. Okay. Lift it back to 25, so it's still an inch tall. And we're going to raise this. Actually, let's just delete that and drop a new one. Okay. So let's center these. Increase the sides. Increase the base radius. That looks about right. And then we're going to make this, I'm thinking 2 inches tall, so 50 millimeters, so I'll have a total of 3 inches. And then the top radius, the one is 1.5 inches, which is about, that's 12.2 plus 25.4, 25.6, 27, 37.6. So let's make it 40 millimeters. Nope. Top radius 20 for a 40 millimeter diameter. There. Hey, Ben. I think I'm going to increase the bottom radius to 35 and then sink it into the part like that. How tall is the total? 71. So I need to increase this by 4 to 54. Okay. We join these together. Jesus Christ. Just come on. You know I'm busy. Why? Just they all come at once too. All the calls come at once. Like really all at once. Okay. I shouldn't say that. It's rude. Hey, Mark Gibson. How's your thumb doing, Ben? I hope it's not bothering you too much. Yeah, I wish. Okay. Alrighty, so this needs to be 38. Yeah, I think 38 Michelle, I'm busy. What do you want? Okay. Good. Okay. Working. Yeah. Okay. All right. You got it. I'll talk to you later today. All right. Bye. See, increase the number. No, not that. This. Okay, so that's not a big enough lip. Let's do this. Let's make this 21. It's otherwise healing okay, though? 36. That should do it. Because I would like to make this just a hair bigger. 38.2 by 38.2. Alright, let's center everything. Center everything and join everything. Okay. So there we go. Just a simple mount. Good. All right, now we need to put the screw holes. Let's see, sides. How big is your typical screw hole? I have a bunch of solar lights that I mount on posts. Looks like this. Let's see. So I have these little fence segments here in my yard, and there's these posts that all along the yard on the one side. And so what I'm doing is I'm putting a solar light on top of each one. Good solar light, not like a dollar store solar light. These lights actually produce, they actually light up the ground. You can actually see by them. And so instead of just trying to drill a hole that's a different size for each one and crap, instead I will make this universal little mount here. I'll screw this into the top of the post and then just stick the light right in top. And what I'll do is I'll just make this hole a different size for lights that need a different size. And all I have to do is come in here and change the size of this bore and print another one. And I'll print it with 1mm filament, 1mm nozzle, so it'll be super strong. And yeah. Let's see here. So, what's your typical? Let's see. Hey, Zero. Let's see. So number 10. How big is a number 10? Here we go. Well, why can't I click that? There it goes. Number 10, 0.2 inches. 0.2 inches to millimeter. So 5 millimeters. So I need a 6 millimeter hole. Okay. And that should cover most screws. So I need a 6 by 6. And then Control D. Lift you up to about here. And then make you 12 by 12. That's probably too big. Oh, come on. 10's probably enough. So let's lower that down just a little bit more. Join it together. So that will be my screw hole size. That looks pretty good. There is a way for me to make this do it right. So let's do this, and then this, and then this, and then take this, and we are going to make it 4 millimeters. And then we take this, and this, and then we take this, then we take this, and we make it, come on, I think it was already there, 4 millimeters. So now we are 4 by 4 millimeters from the edge. That looks good. Now we need a master ring. This one. Let's go radius, and then sides. And then we take this and this, center it on this piece here. We take this, Control D, select this, rotate 90, there. And we can delete this and join all of this. Bingo bango, there we go. Now we have our screw holes. And I only really need to use 2, but I figure I might as well print with 4. And now I can just put 2 screws into here and screw that right into the top of the post. And the square base, I don't really need a square base, except I need that for the screw holes. That's the only reason the square base is even there, to make sure this thing will sit flat when I screw it down. And that's just you could do surprisingly complex things with Tinkercad if you just remember to keep your tool order in check. Remember to do everything in the right order. What I'll do is I'll print this at 0.4 millimeter layer height, maybe even 0.6 millimeter layer height. I'll probably do 0.6. So 0.6, and then this part here I'll do a 0.2, so that it'll look nice and clean when it prints this part. And then as soon as I get to here, I'll switch back to 0.6 again and print really thick layers all the way up to the top. And that should be enough meat. Yeah, I think that's good. Sorry, baby. I had to. Scared the cat again. Huh. I think that's going to work. Oh, now there's one more thing I want to do. I want to undo this. And I want to undo this. There we go. I want to hide this. I want to join all this together. There we go. Now bring this back. And now the last thing I merge is this thing. The reason for that is so that when I want to change this to, fit something else, I can even go with a bigger diameter if I want to. Like this here is 3 inches tall. It's actually really small. So that's okay. But in theory, I could, for example, lower this down to 2 inches, which will allow me to make a bigger bore. But I think this is one of the biggest pipes I got. So now by joining this last, there's my hole. Now if I want to modify this for a different size, all I have to do is do this and change the size of this and then remerge it. So if I have a 1-inch pipe, for example, I could just change this to 26 millimeters, 26 and a half, and then remerge it again. And now I have one for a 1-inch pipe. And so this makes it easy. Okay, lamp mount. Fence mount. Okay, export it. And this is how easy it is to make something in Tinkercad when you need something around the house. And it actually looks halfway decent. I mean, this looks pretty nice. I would have no problem displaying that in front of my house. It's 3 inches tall. That's enough meat to make sure it's not going to fall over. It's just a little lamp this big, Let's see. That's why I made it 3 inches tall, so that it won't like torque and break the plastic. Okay, delete all of this. We want to add my longer LK5 Pro, which is 1 millimeter, 1 millimeter, 0.96. That looks good. Retraction at 5. Wipe at 8. 0.5 millimeter layer height is good. Let's go 5 top layers, no bottom layers, 3 perimeters if it'll permit it. Let's go 6 top layers. Skirt brim is fine. 2 at 6 millimeters. Infill 20. Let's go 25%. We do not want rectilinear. We want grid. Temperature. It's going to be PETG. So 240 is good. 80 is good. Cooling at 3 at 25. Speed, let's bring it down to 45 and a maximum of 8 since we're going with a 0.5 millimeter layer. Let's see here. That all looks good. That all looks fine. Okay. Oh yeah, that's plenty big. Alrighty, let's see what it looks like. I think that's enough infill. Yeah, the infill is halfway wrapped around 3 perimeters. Yeah, that's plenty. Shouldn't be a problem. Let's see, tools, variable layers. We are going to start right about here. So let's start at 20. Okay, add, and then change again at 25. Nope, let's go 26. Yep, 26 is good. Add. Split. Change you to 0.2. And 6 top layers. Which means this only needs 3 top layers. And this only... And this only needs 2 top layers. Much better. Ah, that looks nice and clean. Oh, that's beautiful. I got no problems with that. Oh, that's bulletproof. That ain't gonna have any problems. That'll last as long as this house. Oh, those holes are gonna be nice and strong. I don't like that. It's mostly sitting on top of that, so I think it'll be okay. Yeah, the zigzag is sitting on top of the infill right there, so I think that'll actually be okay. I'm Groot. Yeah, that's going to be just fine. And it's only going to take 4.5 hours to print. Okay, that looks good. Download, lamp fence mount. Okay. Now, let's see, I want to group processes. Let's see here. Let's call it mount-1 because I should be able to print 3. Oh yeah. There's no reason to use anything else. You know, I always test in Prusa when I'm going to make something for other people to use. Why can't I deselect? Why are you being a dick? We'll put that one there. That one there. Okay. Let's see. Copy. Control V. Group. Control V. And group. Yeah, as long as it works for what I need, I'll keep using it. This one's going to be just for model 1. This one is going to be for model 2. This one is going to be for model 3. Okay, that's not working correctly. This is a bug in Simplify where this will be on a longer LK 5 Pro, just a cheap 334. It's got a nice touchscreen though. So this one you have to change each of these individually. It does not change the model for the group. That's a little bug. Nope. See, now it's just that one. So I have to go to all these and set them properly. The cleanup is basically done. I just have to hope it's to the city's satisfaction. My neighbors really came through like 15 people came out Saturday, and we busted the whole thing done in 4 hours. It is so absolutely embarrassing just how much garbage I had. Oh man, I will never ever let it get like that again. Never. There. That one, that one, that one. Yep, I made chili and tacos. They didn't want the tacos, but they did have the chili. And why can't I deselect? It's so annoying. Okay, prepare. Select all. Sequential. 909. Go. There. 13 hours and 23 minutes. And it will print them one at a time. That one, that one, that one. So print one, print another one, print another one. One thing I learned to do with outdoor prints is I always make the print with no bottom layers. Not only does that speed up the print, but if water gets inside the print, it drains out. It doesn't get trapped inside. And, thank you very much. What is TRY? CURENCY. TRY. Turkish lira. 250 TRY to US. There we go. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. It's always fun looking at different currencies. So you're from Turkey, huh? That's very cool. I mean, I obviously I know how the internet works. It's, I used to work tech support for an internet provider, but even after 30 years, it still blows my mind that, you know, we're chatting between the U.S. and Turkey. That's just amazing to me. That's just very cool to me. That should do it. Hey man, it's more than I had before. There's no problem with that with me. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, you can do live video now. It's really amazing. It's truly amazing. The first time we set up video, of course, it was porn. Porn's always the leader of that kind of crap. It was a dual DSL line that we had to have installed in order to, not DSL, ISDN. It was a predecessor to DSL. We had to have an ISDN line installed so you could do live video chat between two locations. Now you just hit the three dots on your phone and click add video call, and you're there. You're talking video. It's amazing. Technology is amazing. Let's see. The catch was mind blowing. On the first freaking try, they just nailed it. They made it look so freaking easy. Like, what the hell, man? Wow. I mean, we're talking about something as big as a Saturn V, and they caught the damn thing. I mean, there's no question they were going to do it. I knew they were going to do it. But so perfectly on the first try? Now, what I want to talk about, I can't talk about, I want somebody to talk about, is how do they do that? It's not GPS. Anybody who thinks that's GPS is crazy. There has to be some local feedback between the tower and the rocket. So the tower says, okay, move this way, move that way, move this way as they come in together. There must be some kind of communications directly between the booster and the tower itself. You know, that last the last 100 feet where it says, okay, move 2 inches right, move 2 inches left. There has to be some final guidance system that is in place there. And I would love for, like, Everyday Astronaut or Y or somebody like that to talk about that, to do an interview and talk about that final guidance system that must be in place. And almost no deviation. There was a little bit. You could actually see the rocket bounce back and forth between the chopsticks. So the rocket came down, and you saw the chopsticks come in, and then you saw the rocket, where's it at? You could actually see the rocket come between the chopsticks and go, bup, like this, as it bounced a little bit back and forth. But, it was how the precision and the gentleness in with which it did it was just, wow. And Starship almost was completely successful too. They still had some burn through. You can see some burn through starting to happen at the hinges from the plasma from reentry. And so they still need to make a little bit of improvement there, but it survived all the way down, did a soft splashdown. Truly remarkable. Just absolutely amazing. What I don't understand is why splash down Starship in the Indian Ocean? If there was if they're willing to splash down the booster right outside Boca Chica, then why not make the orbit almost all the way around and splash down at Boca Chica so they can recover the carcass? Because they'll never recover it from the Indian Ocean. It's 1,000 feet down now. Maybe, I never mind. I know why. In order to go all the way around, they have to actually achieve a full orbit. And they don't want to achieve an orbit yet in case something goes wrong. See, right now, if something goes wrong, they know it's going to come back. And not just sit up there for years and cause problems. So they want to wait until they know it's working right before they do a full orbit. That makes sense. But, oh man, watching that was just... and so many video angles. Oh, it was so good. Did you see the video they posted afterwards? What About It had it. Great SpaceX had it. They had high quality onboard videos looking down as the pins were caught by the chopsticks. And a really, really great video. That's where you can see it wobbles a tiny bit. And truly amazing. Truly just... I know exactly what Elon Musk and the whole team is doing right now. To all those naysayers who said, no way in hell. He's going... yeah, I just caught that rocket, bitch. Sit on that and rotate. That's what the team is saying right now. Sit on that and rotate. But, oh, man. That was amazing. That was just absolutely phenomenal to watch that happen. And to think they've landed 356 rockets. Landed 356 rockets. We've gone in less than 10 years, we've gone from that's impossible, you're never going to do it, to 356 landed rocket. And this one's the size of a fucking Saturn V. Yeah, suck on it, bitches. Oh, nice. I could never afford a Tesla. Never. That's so much money for someone like me. Just, it's too much money. Even if they gave me one for free, I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford the insurance on it. Okay. So this one's going to be mount times 3. I would love to have one. It would definitely save money in the long run. It's just the upfront cost is just too high. That's something people have so much trouble understanding, is that a Tesla will always save money. Always. unless you die before you reach the savings. I mean, think about it. A base model Tesla is $40,000, and you can get one for $35,000. But let's say $40,000. Over 300,000 miles, you're going to spend $7,500 in electricity charging it. Okay, so your all-up cost is $47,500. If you buy the average $40,000 car that gets the average 24.5 miles per gallon, over that same 300,000 miles, you're going to spend $49,000 in gasoline. Just the gas cost pays for the Tesla and all the electricity to charge it. And you basically got the car for free, literally, and all the power to charge it for free. Because the gas car, even if you can get Ford or Chevy or whatever to give you the car for free, it's going to cost you more than the purchase price of the Tesla and all the electricity to charge it. People say, oh, it's not green. I only care about one green, and that's the greenbacks in my pocket. And electric cars save you a lot of greenbacks in your pocket, if you can afford the initial purchase price. Because the reason gas feels cheaper is because you have 20 years, 30 years to pay for that $50,000 in gasoline. But you have to pay for the car in 3 to 5. And so the front-loaded price is very high. Even though the overall price is basically free, literally free car. The cost of the Tesla and the cost of all the electricity to charge the Tesla is less than just the cost of the gasoline to drive your gas car. Forget about the price of the car, the oil changes, and all the other stuff that the gas car needs that the electric car doesn't. Forget about all that. Just the cost of the gas is $3,000 more than the cost of the entire purchase price of the Tesla and all the electricity to charge it over its entire life. It's a free car, if you can afford that front-loaded payment. If you can't afford that front-loaded payment, nothing you can do about it. Just they got to bring the price down somehow. Why don't they make it? Do they run out of power? That's just bad planning. I mean, that's no different than a dummy running out of gas. I mean, if you run out of gas, it's your fault. Well, okay, I ran out of gas once. It was a Grand Wagoneer. I love that car. Oh, that was the closest to luxury I ever had in a car. Grand Wagoneers are amazing. But I ran out of gas once, and I'm like, what the hell? I thought the car died. Turned out I was out of gas. And you got gas? And I was like, yeah, I got a quarter tank of gas. And he looked in there, and he's like, tap on that. And I take my knuckles, and I go, whack, whack. And the fuel gauge goes, bloop. And I'm like, you motherfucker. They ran out of gas. The gas gauge got stuck at a quarter. So I thought I had gas. But that's the only time I ever ran out of gas. My first Nissan Leaf would only go 80 miles on a charge. And I got to the point where I was down to like 58 miles to a charge in the wintertime. Do you know how many times? I put 65,000 miles on that car. Do you know how many times I ran out of electricity? 0. Not one single time did I ever get stranded because I ran out of charge. And I did long trips on that car. I did a trip all the way down to southern Delaware to go to a rocket launch. Let me describe to you the antics that I had to go through to do that trip. And I only did it once just because I wanted to do it and say I could. Okay? Otherwise, it's pointless. I drove to Wilmington, Delaware. I sat there for 4 hours and charged the car up. I then drove down to the hotel. The hotel let me plug the car into a 110 outlet. So it's not going to fully charge overnight, but I only had to drive 10 miles to the field and back. So by the time I left Sunday, the car was fully charged again. I actually brought a generator with me, and I ran the generator for 2 hours on the field to top up the car, because the car had just enough range to make it from the hotel to Wilmington, Delaware, the dealership where I was going to plug in and charge up. But the field was 10 miles further away from the hotel. So I had to drive an extra 20 miles, 10 miles to the field, 10 miles back to the hotel, and then the 70 miles to the Wilmington. Theoretically, the car had enough range to make it, but that encroached upon my 10% safety limit. So I took the generator with me, charged the car for 2 hours on the field. And that was enough to get me back to 100%. And then I had no problem making it all the way to the Wilmington charger. I probably didn't need to use the generator, but just in case, I brought it anyway. And I did it. I was able to make that trip using the electric car. I did something similar here. I drove down to a Ford dealership south of Albuquerque. They let me charge up there. I then went out, picked up the boat that I bought, drove back to O'Neill Nissan in Albuquerque, charged up, and then drove up the mountain to home. And sure, I had to sit for a few hours in charge. I just watched some YouTube videos or read a book. All right. The point is, I did the whole trip for let's see, I did the whole trip for $2.50. Yeah. Oh yeah. I still have the Kia Soul, and I still have the Nissan Leaf, and now that I have the key, I can use the Nissan again. I can only drive in town. I can't go outside of town because the moment I try to climb a hill, the battery cuts out. And so I can only use it for, Walmart, post office, etc. And it's really annoying. I mean, it's not the car that's the problem. It's the dealership that's the problem. It's a warranty issue. It's bad luck. I got a bad battery. It happens. All right. And how many Kias got bad engines? Do you think gasoline engines are bad because some Kias blew up? No, it happens. Okay. 1 in a million RNG. I got a bad battery. My problem is not the battery. My problem is Nissan and the dealership don't want to warranty it. Oh yeah, the Walmart's open again. They opened up the same day. Let's see. So that's all good. I'll get those printed out. I have deck screws. Just zip, screw it in. And then I'll be able to just take my lights and stick them right into the top. And that will work out well. I kind of got spoiled. I bought my first Leaf from crap. What was the name of the company? Not O'Neill. I forget the name. I just spoke it a couple days ago. But the dealership I bought the car from in Pennsylvania, they were absolutely above board with me. Didn't try to dicker with me. Didn't try to mess with me. the what's the name? I forget the name. But anyway, they treated me very well. Anytime I had a warranty issue, there wasn't even an argument. They just took care of it immediately. They said, no problem, we'll take care of it. And the one time they even gave me a rental car to go home with because they said it was going to take more than a day. And no issues whatsoever. They never ever gave me a single problem, no matter how simple the claim was. Like one time I had a problem with the door seals tearing. And that was a big deal because one of my favorite things about an electric car is how quiet they are. 6 hours, Jesus, that's nuts. Is how quiet they are, and with the door seal torn, wind noises coming in is very annoying. And they said no problem, we take care of it. Same day, I sat there for 2 hours. They replaced the door seal, no problem. So when they totaled my Nissan Leaf, when the lady rear-ended me, I didn't even wait for the check from the insurance company to come in. I just went out and bought another Leaf. Like that week, like within a week, I had another Leaf. I was not going to be without that car. And I made the mistake of going to a different dealership because the dealership I bought the first one from only had black and silver. And I hate black and silver with a passion. It's like, I just don't want the car if it's black or silver. And Oh, wow. Nuts. Stupidity. Which one's this? That's that one. Where's the right one? Uh-oh, where'd it go? There it is. So I found another dealership, Philadelphia dealership, that had a blue one, and it was a pain in the ass right from the get go. And I should have realized, come on, that something was not right, but whatever. I got the car. I love the car. Then I moved out to New Mexico, and I started having problems with the car. And I've been taking it to the dealership for 5 years with this problem, and they just lied. They just pretended that I never came in. All the reports for when I brought the car in for service for this exact problem, they just changed what the reason was to something else. And they just said, "Oh, just brought it in for a battery checkup." No, that's not why I brought it in. I brought it in because it's not working right. And they just lied on each of those reports every year when I brought it in. So now there's no paper trail showing the history of the problem. My guess, this is purely a guess. I'm not saying this is fact. My guess is there's a cost sharing agreement between Nissan and the dealership where the dealership has to eat some of the cost of a warranty replacement, and they don't want to eat the cost of this battery replacement because I didn't buy the car from them. I bought it in Pennsylvania. And I think that's what's going on. So one of the guys in the township said that there's an arbitration process available to help negotiate with dealerships like this with car manufacturers. So I'm trying to find out what that process is to see if there's anything I can do. It's a very clear warranty issue. They just refuse to acknowledge it. And what else can I do? I mean, the car doesn't even have 40,000 miles. It's a brand new car. It's just been sitting for years because I can't really go anywhere with it anymore. Why do people have to be dirtbags? Why can't people just play fair? What are you gonna do? Eat them. We'll eat them. We'll make cat food out of them, right, kitties? Right? We'll make cat food out of them. You get your tummies full every day. Oh man. What are you gonna do? I think I need 6 of them. So just 2 sets of 3. I can sequential print 3 of them like this, and it's only going to take 400 grams of filament. So it doesn't, 860 grams will print all 6 of them. I'm printing them really heavy duty. Like I'm using way more plastic than I need. I could print these for half the plastic and they'll probably be good enough. But I'd rather print them heavy duty enough that they just will last forever. So 25% infill, 1 millimeter nozzle width. I'm printing them super thick, 3 walls. Just the walls are going to be 3 millimeters thick. And the infill at 25% with 1 millimeter infill. This thing, they're going to be bulletproof. You'll be able to take a hammer to them. Well, I'm as ready as I can be for winter. There's not much else I can do. It's looking like we're going to have another warm, mild winter. And as long as that's the case, I'll be fine. If we have a cold winter, well, I'm going to be spending a lot of time under the blankets. um, even last year with the mild winter, on particularly cold days, it got down to 55 degrees in here. And on those days, we just stayed under the blankets. Because the 12,000 BTU heater just can't keep up when it gets that cold. So far, she seems okay. They're finally fixing her medicine. They're getting that all taken care of. And they finally have her on water pills, which is bringing the swelling in her legs down. So they should be able to start the physical therapy soon. Hopefully this week. And the lady from the state came in and said she's going to make sure they do her 5 days a week like they're supposed to. Because, if they did it right, if they did the physical therapy properly, it should only be a month or so, and she should be back on her feet and be able to come home. And, go from there. Just my big concern right now is getting the city off my back, just getting them to ignore me, making that problem go away, as best I can. Yeah, these should print just fine. I'll probably print one, make sure it fits right, and then print 3. And well, also, I'll print just one first because the other ones might be a different size. As long as it's close enough, I can just stick something in there to friction fit it. But I should make some of these for the little solar ones too, so I don't have to use zip cords, zip ties. Although the zip ties are holding. I've had lights up for over 4 years with zip ties, and they're fine still. The fence between our property have the little dollar store solar lights. Can't really see by them, but it looks nice. And what sucks is that theoretically you could replace the batteries in those, but there's no point in replacing the batteries because it's actually more expensive to buy new batteries than it is to just replace the entire lamp. The lamps are about $1 each. Actually, let me check that. The screen needs a cleaning. Those are expensive ones. Ooh, that double one is nice. It's only $10. No way. Take a look at it. Really? That's all that costs? It's probably not very bright. There's 24 pieces for 31. Here we go. Here we go. Here's 24 pack for 22. So they're less than $1 a piece. And the batteries, the 2/3 AAA cells that these things take, cost about $1 a piece. So it's literally cheaper to just replace the lights than it is to replace the battery, which is sad, to waste all that material when you could just replace the battery and get another 5 years out of it. But because of the these are the exact same lights I have, basically the same. Yep, same thing. Stainless steel with a clear section and a proper. Yep, these are the exact same lights. Damn right. Nice. I've never done delivery from Walmart because it's only a mile away, but I love grocery pickup. Pickup is wonderful. Not only do I not have to go into a Walmart, I hate going into Walmart, but I got an itch, and I need to scratch the itch. Not only do I hate going into Walmart, but I force Walmart to pay employees, and I really like that. The idea of forcing Walmart to actually pay someone just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. I wonder how bright these are. Okay, 24 inches is 5, 59 inches is 12. It's probably a standard crappy solar light. Looks pretty big though. This double head one looks nice. How bright? I don't know. Now the big ones, like I have on the front of my house, these, I have these all over my yard. They've been going for almost 5 years straight, and they still work. I have zero problems with these. They're cheap. It's a little tiny module. One of the tricks is you want this kind of module. See how it's got the amorphous solar panel on the top of it, like what's on the calculator? It's just a piece of glass. That's what you want. Because what happens is you see the ones that have the clear epoxy resin coating on top. You don't want those because they're not UV stable. So the UV light will eventually make them turn yellow and cloudy. They won't work right. You can take toothpaste and polish it, and you're good for another year. But after 3 or 4 times, they won't work. But yeah, these here, this is exactly what I have going along my entire fence line right now. And they're almost 5 years old, and they're working perfectly. I'm amazed they're working 5 years. I expect these to last about 3 years. And so far, 5 years and counting, and they're still going. But they're simple. It's just a little plastic solar module with a single LED emitter, and then there's this cheap, stainless ring, clear lens, stainless tube. It's just a cheap stainless steel. You can almost crush it with your hand. But these are great. If you could find this exact LED light module right here, this little unit right here, these are wonderful. You're not going to see by them. They're not going to, this is because they have all 24 of them in one spot. And, but yeah, these are fantastic. And this is a great price. This is less than I paid for them. This is, 80 cents a piece? Or 90 cents a piece? Let's see. 21.99 times 1.08125. So that's 23.77 divided by 24. 99 cents a piece. So with tax, it's 99 cents a piece. And yeah, these are wonderful. I love these lights. What these are really now also depends on where you put them. So I'm using these on a fence line. Hang on. Let me see if I can show you. T-post fence. So how you mount them is also important. So the fence between my yard and the neighbors looks like this. It's these metal T-posts in the ground, except mine are every other one. So there's twice as far as this. Yeah, fence post, and then there's this metal wire that attaches to them. And what I did, and they're about 4.5, 5 feet tall. And what I do is I take 2 zip ties, and I zip tie one light to each T-post. I stick the light right on the back of the T-post. It fits right into the curved part on the back of the T-post, and zip tie, zip tie. So these lights are 4.5, 5 feet off the ground, which means they're not getting in the moisture clutter that's on the bottom of the ground. Also, I live in the desert, so they don't really get wet too often. That's also a pretty big deal. Here we go. This is it right here. This is it right here. This is what we have between our yards. The actual wire fence is different, but essentially, this is what we have. This is what's between our yards right here. Okay, I'm showing you the right thing, right? Yes. So this is what we have between our yards, and this is about the spacing. And I have an LED light on top of each of these posts. And I just zip tie them on. And yeah, they've 5 years and counting, and they're still running. It helps that we're in the desert. It helps that we get a ridiculous amount of sunlight. So they always charge up, even in the wintertime. And it's wonderful. I mean, you're not going to see by them. They don't produce enough light to light up the ground, but you can see the line of them going down the property line. It's really nice. And I'll try to get a picture one night. But yeah, this is wonderful. If you can get these are really good. But you want the ones where the solar panel is a glass panel with no, it's up. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Why would you do that? Solar cell would be better. Here we go. These are garbage. Sometimes you'll see solar lights, and they'll have. Where's my plug? How long have we been going? So I got an hour and 20 minutes on the battery. That's not too bad. It's not great though. So you see these here? How there's that clear epoxy resin coating on top of the solar panels? This is what you don't want. Yeah, you can really see it in this picture. See how it's got that clear resin coating? You think, hey, that's a great idea. It's impervious to moisture, right? Yes, but it's not impervious to ultraviolet light. Because typically the resin that they use for these is not UV stable. Now, if you have the wherewithal, you can buy UV clear coat, and you can pre-spray these with the UV clear coat, and that will dramatically improve their lifespan. But what I prefer is this kind of panel, because this kind of panel, it's a raw glass solar panel, which will never degrade in UV. And this way you never have to worry about that ever. But try if possible to avoid these. And if you do get these, try to UV clear coat. Yeah, here we go. UV resistant clear coat. Get something like this. And this will help prevent the UV light from oxidizing the solar panels, the resin on top of the solar panels. So get something like this. This will do hundreds of solar panels. And we do is just give them you spray them all with the clear coat, and that will help them resist the fading. Let's see. Faded. Trying to find an example. Here we go. You'll see this happen. So you'll see this, where they become faded. That's the UV light damaging the resin that encapsulates the solar panel. Now the way they clean it up like this is by polishing it. And you can do that. The other problem though is that the rest of the plastic is starting to get more brittle. On a big expensive lamp like this, it's worth taking care of. On a small $1 lamp, I'd rather just buy a lamp that doesn't require it and then have to, do this 40 different times for the 40 different LED lamps I have. Screw that. That's a lot of work for not a lot of gain. And so if you just get panels that don't do that, then your problem is solved. Or clear coat them in advance. Now you can repair them. You put some toothpaste on it. You scrub it down with a microfiber cloth until it comes clean. You're basically wet polishing it, and you can make it come clear again. Although you really want to put a clear coat on it afterwards, because now you have that rough surface. It's going to get dirty again faster. But you can also only do that so many times before eventually you wear through all the resin, and now you're going to start sanding your actual panel. You could probably do it 4 or 5 times before you hit the panel. But yeah, to avoid that, get the panels that don't do that. Then your problem is solved. You know, if you get panels like this, there's no resin on top of the panel. It's just a piece of glass. And that glass is not going to degrade in UV light. So, how do I save this? Can I save it? Add to list. Really? This isn't saved? Yes, it is. I think that's the wrong password. Yeah. Why would you do that? Okay. Add to list. Why are you giving me a problem? There. That's a good deal. I'm going to save that. These usually have encapsulated solar panels. Meaning at the top there's usually the resin coated solar panels, which aren't the greatest. I can't actually see. Yeah, see how it's shiny? That's a resin panel. And now some of them have a PET layer on top of it, and those are fine too. They won't degrade. You just gotta wash them off every now and then. You know, once a year, take a hose to them or a wet rag and just clean them off. And go from there. But yeah, if you have encapsulated panels, get the clear coat. Even the cheap dollar store decorative ones, seem to last quite a while. Block, 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 block. Go away. The hell? Jesus. So all the time you'll see, Jesus. Come on. I want to get some of these. These are nice. And these are cool too. And oh, those are nice. Here's their new designs for this year, for example. Reindeer, snowman, Santa Claus, tree, and elf. Oh, you have Halloween too. Nice. But these all have glass panels and 2/3 AAA cells. I have one of a flamingo, and it lasts fine. I got about 3 years out of it, 3.5, 4 years out of it before it finally stopped. What usually happens is the plastic itself fails. The solar components are still working fine, and you just touch it and it falls apart. The plastic gets UV damaged and it just falls apart. Now, if you're going to put them out like this, where you're going to put them out for a few months, then take them back in, wait till next year, they'll probably be okay. You'll probably get 3 or 4 years out of them. So if you were to buy 2 sets, for example, you're looking at $14 for 2 sets. That's not bad for a few years worth of usage. You get different holidays, you get the different ones, and it's fine for that price. There's nothing to complain about. These have the solar panel on the inside, so just enough light makes it through the plastic to power the solar panel. And but yeah, and they always use because they're cheap, they use the straight glass panels, but those glass panels are actually the best. I'm trying to see. Here's one. You can see here, it's just a straight up. Of course, I can't show you because it's a straight up piece of glass. There's no encapsulation on the back of that, so they actually last a pretty decent amount of time. One thing I want to try to do is put some of these up after I clear coat them. I just don't have the money right now to buy any, but I'd like to try to clear coat the whole thing in that that clear coat UV protectant spray and see if that helps the plastic resist degradation over time. And these always use the same size shaft, so I should be able to do a 3D print a mount like this that has that size shaft on it, and just have it all along the posts, and then just go out and go stick all the lights in, and then when the holiday changes, take all those out, put the new ones in. And I like decorating, but right now I just have no money, so I don't bother. But these are nice though. I like these designs. Snowman's cute. I like the Christmas tree too. That's pretty cool. Definitely, I paid $1 each for them, and they lasted almost 5 years. I can't complain. They're still running. I haven't had to change one yet. They're still running fine. I'll have to check and see if they actually run all night. Like, do they still have enough capacity to run all night? Probably. But what do you gotta do? I'd like to. Oh. It won't work everywhere, but it should work where I live. Um, I'd like to mount one of those solar lights sideways, and the problem with mounting it sideways is you're only going to get a full charge half the day when the sun's on that side of it, depending on which way it's facing. Although maybe I could mount it like a 45. I'd have to figure out how to do that. I'm trying to figure out a way of doing it without having to modify the module. And hello, photo. Or should it be hello, Moto? Motorola commercial. Well, you also have the other problem in the Netherlands of one, you have a lot more rain, so they're going to degrade faster. And two, you have pretty harsh winters and not nearly as much sunlight. I live in the desert in New Mexico, so I get crap tons of sunlight and very little moisture, so things like that last longer. And if you get cold enough, it could damage the battery. So usually it's a NiCad. And NiCad, I think NiCads are pretty temperature tolerant. Of course I still have the cats. I would never get rid of my kitties. Ender is behind me on the bed here, and Noel is up there on the tree. He's behind me, right? Yep, he's curled up on my blanket. And Noel's is curled up on top of the tree. And God. What else? What is the diameter? Oh, wow. The solar lights are available on Temu? No shit. 376 for 10 of them. I thought it said 10. Nah, 12.87. They're not worth 3.76 a piece. You could buy them at Walmart for 97 cents. Yeah, they are at Walmart. You get black ones at Walmart. 97 cents. So it's the same 99-cent price when you add the tax. Actually, it's more. It's going to be $1.05 because it's 8 cents tax on $1. You gotta watch that kind of thing, you know. See, it says 10-piece sold like $376. They always do that. They need to crack down on that. Because $376 is the 1-pack. That's not worth it. 10-pack for $9 is not bad. Those are pretty. Wow, that's kind of pretty. See, there's no point in buying these when you could buy them at Walmart for the same price. It just seems silly. God, I first saw that. I'm thinking, what the hell are you doing? And I realize it's whatever she's wearing. Like, my first thought was, ow, that looks like it hurts. Oh, man. I'll have to measure them, see how big they are. I'll have to make one of these for the Dollar Tree lights. That I'll probably do something in vase mode. You know, make it super lightweight. You know, because it doesn't need to be super strong because the lamps are so lightweight. These lamps I'm putting in this mount are heavier. You know, they're proper lights that actually light up the ground and everything. And but the Dollar Tree lights don't need that much work. They don't need that much, and because they're so lightweight. But what I would like to do is to make. I probably can't use Dollar Tree lights. They're not bright enough. You need something brighter. But what I would like to do is to these things. Let's see if I can find them. We might as well see if there's anything cool. Audio cutout. Hello? Audio looks fine on this end. Anybody else having audio problems? OBS says it's good. Yeah, reload the page. That happens every now and then in YouTube. You just lose the audio. Sometimes it even happens on my TV. I'll load up a video and there'll be no audio, and I have to exit the YouTube app and reload the YouTube app. Hey Gary, how are you doing? So what do we have on printables today? That's pretty. Sometimes YouTube is just funny. Did you see Flight Test some rideable hydrofoil he made? Very cool. Oh, cool. Let me grab that. That's a pretty shelf. Wow, that's a hell of a pumpkin. Ah, cool. Ew, back scratcher. All right, that's kind of cool. Ah, Da Vinci's helicopter. Very neat. Very cool. There's one thing in particular I'm looking for. I want to show you. I could use multiple solar lights, but I don't know if the light would be even. Because if it's uneven, it's going to look like crap. A 555 timer back scratcher. Oh, I want that. Oh, I need that. That's just good. That's good. Aw, little Rexy with a pumpkin. Oh, nice. Pumpkin tea light. Simple. Face hugger back scratcher. They have a contest for back scratchers or something? Seems to be a lot of back scratchers. Yeah, see, there's a whole bunch of back scratchers. Where is that lamp? Oh, wow. That's pretty. Holy cow, that's cool too. Dripping blood. Ooh. That's the car from the first Aliens movie. The military vehicle. I can't believe I'm having this much trouble finding it. I guess a lot of Halloween stuff got posted. Oh, wow. That's pretty. It uses a circle light to light up a panel, and you could put different panels on it. And I wanted to make a solar decoration that uses that, where you can just print new panels for each holiday. And you go outside and you take off one holiday's panel and you put a different panel on for a different holiday. So you can use things like this. You can print something like that or laser cut something like that and just fit it in, just make it the same diameter. I thought that would be neat. Create a standardized template. I'm trying to find it. I am looking on here, right? Oh, I'm not switched. I'm an idiot. I thought I did switch. Thank you, Mark. I missed that. Wow. That's pretty. Christmas solar lights in Tinkercad? What Christmas solar lights? You mean the mounts? Make mounts for them? Well, yeah. Always. Well, when we can afford it. We usually get some nice steaks once or twice a year when we can afford it. Steak is very expensive out here, but very delicious. Wow, that looks beautiful. Yep, definitely a carnivore. Come on. Well, let's see if I can search for it. Not yet. Where is it? Circle light? Round lamp? Come on, one of these has got to bring it up. Well, I downloaded it. let's see, door corner, light door corner, green ghost corner, corner. Those are all the corners. Lego boxes. Ring lamp. Here we go. There we go. This. So this kind of idea where you build this lamp using the LED neon, and then you could put different designs on it. See, I got all these different templates. You basically snap them onto here. I'm guessing they snap on in some way. And I want to download this too. Let's see, all model files, yes. But my idea is to make this entire background light up instead of just a ring. And or maybe just make it a ring like this. And then the idea is yeah, use 3D printing at Nerys.com. Excuse me. But the idea is that's pretty. That looks really cool too. Where is the... There it is. But the idea would be to make a universal lamp, especially if I can make it solar powered. And then you would print out whatever ring you want for whatever holiday or event you want. And ooh, wow, that's cool. Wow, some of these are pretty. But something like this, where you'd have I would tell everybody, okay, make it 1 millimeter thick, 8 inches in diameter, whatever it is, and something that could be no more than 200 millimeters, so it could be printed on an Ender 3 kind of printer, like an i3, and then you would just go out and you would insert whatever your printout is into your lamps, and you can do other shapes too. You can do square and octagon, triangle, whatever you want. You just got to create a standard so that everybody can print the same thing. And this way you can you can invest in making some really high quality lighting with good batteries and stuff like that, and then you would simply change the template for whatever the holiday is. I think that'd be pretty cool. I also got the idea to do something like this. How do I find it? Ring lamp, kitten box, Spirited Away. Shadow box. Yes, shadow box. So people do things like this. And what it is it's got depth because you have different pieces that all slide in, see? Now my idea was to use transparent PETGs to get a stained glass effect. So you can even print out single color panes like this and have multiple slots in your outdoor lamp. And this way you can have multiple colors. So one might be, different color Christmas lights and stuff like that. And you'd slide them all in there, and because they're transparent PETG, the light, hey Joseph, how you doing? The light would shine through them because they're transparent. So it would light up and be multicolor. You can't do that with this because it's opaque. But now imagine if these were all transparent colors. And then you would install the different slides into your light fixture and it would light up in color. I just think that'd be really cool. And maybe to start off with, I don't know, make a large one for the door, like a reef of a sort. But for something like that, you really want it to be like 300 or 400 millimeters across. Or go smaller. make something that's you know, 6 inches across. You know, something this big. You know, something you know, maybe something roughly this size. So it's super easy and cheap to print the panels, and then you just load your panels. You either be black and white just for a simple silhouette, or you know, maybe have, if you print them thin enough, but you got to worry about heat. Even with PETG, if you print it thin enough, it's going to start warping. And but it would be neat to be able to have a universal standard for like an open source light fixture that we could print. My hair is crazy from me scratching. I was doing this, so my hair was going crazy. But it'd be neat if you could just, you know, it'd be a circle or a square, and we would have a standardized light fixture we'd make. Maybe even go all out, you know, lithium iron phosphate, all of that, you know, so it's long lasting. And the biggest problem I've run into is finding short lengths of the LED neon light. The advantage of the LED neon light is that it's consistent, even lighting, and that's what you need. You need consistent, even lighting. Otherwise, you have a hot spot. So let's see. I wonder if. I wonder. Oh, those are pretty. Let's see, LED circle. I got these rings. What I want is a panel. Just I can make a panel glow. Jesus, would you go away with all this crap? See, there's rings, but let's try LED panel. I know it exists, it's just a matter of finding it. Now see, this would work. A cob array like this. If I could find a round one, and then you cut down the power until it just glows. Because you don't need, oh, here's a circle. Yeah, that looks big though. I need just to, I mean, this could work, especially if you put an acrylic panel in front of it. You know, if you have a high enough density of LEDs. Now, EL would also work, but EL is pretty high power compared to LEDs though. But panels like this would work. I like the idea of a circle, but squares would work. But I need it to be DC. You know, ideally, you know, 1.5 volt. Yeah, this is going to be line level current. This is 220 volt. That's no good. This is what I need. I need an array like this. I think the only way I'm going to be able to do it is to figure out the optics of using a single emitter and spreading it out until it's even. Because it really needs to be 1.5 volts. It needs to run off, or 4 volts, run off a single lithium cell. That's the first thing. Solar. LiFePO4. See, these are big batteries. What I need is I need what's inside of a solar light, but for lithium iron phosphate. This is all big. Because you want it to last, you know. You don't. I'm tired of NiCad and nickel metal hydride and having to constantly replace the cells. I want to put a battery in this thing and not have to replace it for 10 years, 15 years. See here? That's lithium ion. Don't want that. Lithium ion. Don't want that. Here we go. Lithium iron phosphate. So here's a 3,000 milliamp, 3 amp hour, 18650 lithium iron phosphate. So theoretically, this cell will last 10 plus years. That's an awful lot of money, though. 18 bucks for a single cell? That's kind of crazy. Why the hell would it cost that much? I mean, it should be a couple bucks. Let's check Amazon. Why do these cost so much? There's just no reason for these to cost this much. Unless that's a 4-pack. Yeah, it's a 4-pack. Okay, it's not so bad. That's still a lot, but it's not horrendous. You can get AA size? Really? Oh yeah, AA size lithium iron phosphate. Cool. I'd rather go the 18500. There's only 1,000 milliamps though. This is 600 milliamps. And the advantage of a AA size is that it's easy to get battery holders, and there's a 10% coupon. That's not so bad. Let's add that to batteries. Portable power. There we go. Just so I can save that for later. That still seems really expensive. It's because they're selling it for outdoor solar lights. So I guess the objective then would be to find an outdoor solar light that already takes that battery. There's 13 bucks for 4. There's 12 bucks for 4. They're only 450 milliamp, but that's not so bad. What I need is to find these lights here. $300 lumens is pretty bright. Here we go. There's more. What I need is a good, cheap light that uses, like this would be great. One of these cob lights, because you could just put it in always on mode. You could disable, they have like, they're dim and then they go bright when they detect motion, but most of them you can also put them in always on mode. And so you just switch it to always on mode. You guys can't see what I'm looking at again. I keep forgetting to switch that. But I'm pretty sure these do not use lithium iron phosphate. Let me check though. Yeah, these don't use lithium iron phosphate. These probably use lithium iron phosphate. But those are obviously not what we want. Now you see, this could work if I could find one of these that uses lithium iron phosphate. But these usually don't. These usually use lithium ion. Let's check it out. Corded. Because the nice thing about this is the solar panel separate. And so you just put an acrylic panel over that. And $1,500 milliamp, that's lithium ion. But that's what I need. I need something like that. This would be perfect, because then I could design the entire fixture around this array. As long as it has a mode where it's always on. It's also cheap. But I need one of those that uses, yeah, this is lithium ion. It's not iron phosphate. Okay, so this uses lithium iron phosphate. It is flat. That looks like an encapsulated solar panel, though. That's the problem, though, is finding ones that are lithium iron phosphate and that are also affordable. I mean, that's not horrible, $60. That's $15 a lamp. But without knowing how usable it is. So let's do light lithium iron phosphate. And that's the same lamps. What are you doing? Alright, I'm going to have to keep looking. What I need is a nice, cheap, solar-powered light that uses lithium iron phosphate to use as a base for the project. And then we just need to spread the light out enough to yeah, I know, most are NiCad. A lot of them are using nickel metal hydride now, but still, what I want is lithium iron phosphate. Because lithium iron phosphate basically means last forever. As long as you can keep the electronics from getting toasted. But I need small and cheap, something less than $20. There's plenty available, they're just the wrong form factor. Even a cheap little security light would work as long as it has an always on mode. Well, they are. Though the ones I found on Amazon are not bad. They're $15 a piece. You know, $60, but you get 4 of them. So they're only 15 a piece, which is not too bad. I have some like this. They're wonderful. They produce a lot of light. What would make it easier is if I could find the charging circuit to use. You know, find a cheap charging circuit. I'll find it eventually. This looks beautiful. I want to download this. I definitely want to download that. Let's get the Pumpkin Rexy. Well, if I'm going to share this with people, I'd rather it be something that's a little more reliable. I want to print this. This is the 555 timer back scratchers. Just looks awesome. I think my sister might like that. These are cute. I got to get my S5 going again, so I could print 500 millimeters cubed. I miss being able to print that big. I want to get that printing. Taster choice glass jar. Nothing. It's just taken apart. It's in the bus. I finally found the keys to the bus, so I can get into the bus again. It was with the electric car keys. I just got to get it out, figure out where I'm going to set up something that big. Because it's freaking huge. It really is a big machine. And, if I get the shed finished, thanks, Planker. If I get the shed finished, the guy who with the dump trailer, Steve, said he's willing to finish the shed for me because all the materials still look like they're good. He'll finish the shed, you know, dry it in, and then that will really help because I'll be able to put the washer dryer out there. I'll be able to get my exercise bike out of the container and into the shed so I can actually use it. And that'll also be enough space for me to set up the S5. And also the guider too. Because that's a noisy printer that I don't want in the house. It's a good printer, but it's noisy. But that'll give me enough space to set that up. He's willing to do the shed in exchange for my lawn tractor. I'm never going to use it. So I'll give him the lawn tractor. I got a nice riding mower lawn tractor. I'll give him the lawn tractor. He'll finish the shed for me. And so that might be a space where I can set it up. And get my S5 and my S4 set up. And then fix the Chiron. And then I'll have two 4.4 printers and one 5.5 printer. And that'll let me start printing big stuff again. And the only problem I have is electricity. I can't afford the electricity to run the printers continuously. That's why I'm not printing a whole lot right now. I don't have the power. Well, I have the power. I don't have the money to pay for the power. But, printing like, 13 hours is only going to cost me $1. I can afford that. So I want to get these mounts printed for the thing. Where is my... Is it in here? There's an SD card. That's a USB-C trigger. Where is my reader? I remember these smart media cards. Yeah, those are fun. Oh yeah, my little drug scale. I use that for weighing my little tiny micro rockets. Let's get that protected again. Where the hell is the reader? I mean, there's my full size to USB-C. It has to be here somewhere. There it is. Got it. I knew it was here somewhere. There's my USB-C micro SD card reader. And there we go. Now I can plug that into there. Lamp fence mount and mount times 3. There we go. Eject. There. Now I can print them out. That's what I was looking for, that thing there. Let's get that back where it belongs so I don't have trouble finding it next time. And now I can print out some lamppost mounts. I got a big box of deck screws by the front door, so just zip zip, screw it in, mount them. And I was switching them out to all the warm white, because the warm white is just better for along the driveway. The bright white's too much. The bright white is good for the ones on lampposts where I want to light up an area. But for along the driveway, the warm white just looks better. And, alright, I guess that's it. I'm going to go put this in the printer. I'm going to print one, make sure it works right. Then I can see how many lamps it fits. And if it fits more lamps, I can print out all 3. Just set it going, and by the morning it'll be done. And go from there. So that's it. I will see you guys next week. See you guys all next week. Thank you for joining in. Yes, Joseph, it will be awesome to get that done, because it's just rotting away because those bastards screwed me on that. What are you gonna do? All right, see you later.